Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Tonight's story is about a hostel where everything seemed normal at first, until every single night something started appearing, and the worst part is, more than one person saw it. This story comes from Reddit, about a newly built girls' hostel where everything seemed normal at first, until multiple girls started experiencing the same things every single night. She was just 16, in her first year of diploma, living almost 300 kilometers away from her family for the first time. The hostel was newly constructed, and all the girls staying there had come for the first time. No past stories, no history. At least that's what they thought. Her room was on the ground floor, the very first room near the security area. For the first month, everything felt completely normal, until her sleep started breaking every night around 3:14 to 3:30 a.m. One night, she woke up and saw a tall figure near the door, around 7 feet, completely black with no face, no eyes, just a shape with broad shoulders. Her bed faced the door directly, so she couldn't ignore it, but remembering what her mother once told her, she covered herself with a blanket and forced herself to sleep. The next night, it appeared again, same time, but closer, near her roommate's bed, and after that she refused to look at it ever again. Around the same time, girls near the staircase started hearing footsteps running up and down all night in a 4-story building, while on the ground floor, many girls began hearing chairs, tables, and beds being dragged as if someone was rearranging furniture in the dark. A meeting was called, asking who was making the noise and who M was, because someone was heard crying his name every night, but no one knew anything. One night, terrified, 5 girls slept together in one room, and in the middle of the night, they heard 2 slow knocks on the door. Only 2, never 3, and none of them dared to open it. Around the same time, a girl from another wing kept running to the top floor trying to jump, and they had to physically stop her again and again, as if something was pulling her toward it. One night, around 2:17 a.m., she heard someone crying for a long time, and instead of ignoring it, she went to check, searching the stairs and different floors, but the sound kept getting louder with no one there. When she returned, her roommate was already inside the room, calmly saying she had been on the stairs, even though she had just checked and found no one. After that, things became physical. She started feeling something pulling her downward from the bed at night, not enough to drag her, just enough to wake her up. Sometimes, while listening to music, she would see a small shadow on the bed in the mirror behind her, moving back and forth as if it was there with her. And the most disturbing part was that she wasn't the only one anymore. Multiple girls in different rooms were experiencing the same things. Eventually, they called a priest. Without being told anything, he described their section, the rooms, and then said something that froze everyone. He told them the hostel was built over old graves and that certain spirits were still there. He warned them not to use one specific room on the ground floor, saying that was where the presence was strongest. According to him, if they stayed away from that room, the spirits would not disturb them. After that night, things slowly started becoming normal. The sounds reduced, the nights became quieter, but the feeling never fully disappeared. It was like something was still there, just watching, just existing. She eventually left the hostel and returned home, but even now, years later, she still thinks about those nights, about that tall black figure near the door, and every time she remembers it, she gets goosebumps, because some places don't just leave you, even after you leave them. Here's another story from Reddit that will make you think twice about going on a solo hike or even staying in a remote cabin. So make sure you're in a safe spot, because this one is intense. I was hiking alone when I came across a group of 4 hikers. They seemed friendly and invited me to join them at a cabin a few miles ahead, before the sunset. The cabin was small, completely isolated in the middle of the forest, with no other structures in sight. They let me use the common area while each of them had their own room. From the couch I was lying on, I could see 4 doors in a straight horizontal line, each leading to a private room. Night fell quickly, and around midnight, we all went to sleep. The forest was silent outside, except for the occasional rustling of trees. A couple of hours later, I woke up to the sound of 2 male voices talking. They were arguing, but here's the thing. The voices didn't seem to come from inside the cabin. I glanced at the doors. All 4 were closed. I even checked the kitchenette area. No one was there. The voices, they just seemed to float around me, almost omnipresent. I couldn't tell where they were coming from. After a few tense minutes, 3 of the hikers opened their doors, peeking out curiously. "Who's talking?" one asked. Nobody had an answer. That's when things started getting worse. We began noticing strange things around the cabin. Footprints outside, massive ones, far too big to belong to any human. And no matter how hard we tried to trace them, they seemed to disappear into the shadows. Then came the animal sounds, growls and snarls echoing around the tents like something large, maybe a wolf, was circling us, attracted by the smell of our food. We were frozen in fear, hearts pounding, but eventually gathered enough courage to step outside. And there was nothing, just the empty forest. We noticed the footprints again, closer this time. Every instinct screamed at us that this wasn't just an animal. We huddled together in one tent, staying awake until the first rays of morning light pierced through the trees. Every snap of a twig, every distant howl sent shivers down our spines. By sunrise, we packed everything in a rush and left the cabin behind. Whatever had been watching us, or haunting us, was gone when we looked back, but the fear lingered, and honestly, none of us has ever spoken about it in detail. Whatever it was deeply unnerving. And that's the story. I don't know what was out there that night, but I know one thing. I would never go back to that cabin. If you're going hiking, remember, sometimes the forest isn't as empty as it seems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully with less scary stories, maybe.